Let's talk about the manage student, the students tab. This is where you define the type of student, you register students, you see the students list in a class, you register students in bulk through Excel, or you check for online application. Students can apply online. And also you can check for students activity. These are comments under each student. So if we start on the student type, here you can define the type of student. Is it a day student? Is it an evening student? Is it a boarding student? It means the student maybe is going to be staying in the dormitory. Just some categories of students. You assign students based on categories. So you can add with this button here. So you just assign them based on categories. You can delete. So we'll show you the use of this while we're doing the students registration. So we'll come back to the manage student here. We have the student list. If we come to the student list, this is where you have to see the list of students in each class. It will normally be empty here unless you filter it. You choose a class here. It's only when you choose a particular class or you filter that you will see the list of students in here. You can generate the class list by clicking on this button. Here, once you have a student here, you can delete. This is not advisable. Students should not be deleted, especially the ones that have marks or marks were assigned to in a particular class before they were transferred. So normally this option should not be allowed. So at the level of the permission, you have to restrict this. So students can be promoted, they can be transferred, they can drop. So this is the best option. Maybe you can drop a student from appearing in a class list. Okay, so that is that. So this is the class list. So you can do that for each class. You are going to get the list of students for that particular class. We'll go back to our dashboard. Still now we can take admit student. This is where we have to register a student at the back end. And the registration process is very, very simple. When you are putting a student into the system, we have just made things easy, because initially maybe the phone number is not there, maybe the date of birth is not there, the admission date is not there. You are just in a hurry to do things. You just fit in your student's name here. The birthplace, you can leave it empty. If at all you have everything, you can fit them there. Otherwise, you leave them as such. The student type, what we were just explaining, you can define this: the day student, evening student. If it is not important, you leave it as such. The class must be selected. You select where the student should go to, the section where he has to be assigned to. That is that. The discount and the rest, this we are going to explain to you at the level of the accounting, how you can assign a discount of 20%, 5% to a student. You can also equally group students into science students, art students, commerce students, and the rest. That too we will see. Here you must define a matricule. It can be A20, 25, BB. That can be a matricule. So once that one is set, you just have to scroll down. Automatically you are going to see the username and password that has been created for the student automatically. You can even change here and put your own username and put your own password that you are going to give to the student, that he or she is going to use to connect to the system. So normally when you are creating a new student, the student is not an old student, and the student as well is not a repeater. So both are set to no by default. So once this is done, you just take on submit. When you take on submit, that student will be created. The student is called SDDS something. So if you scroll down, this is the student we have created. So you can click on the view tab here to know more about the student. You see more information about that student, the guardian information, the attendance, the exam mark, the payment information. If his own school fees is going to appear, the activity of that student. If there were any comments made concerning, you are going to see it. Let's go back to the dashboard. Still under the manage student here, we have the bulk admission. With this bulk admission, instead of registering students one by one like I just did, what if you have 1,000 students? It will not be easy, especially if just one person is doing the registration. Maybe the secretary alone is in charge of all of that. So in this case, it becomes easy. Just with Microsoft Excel, you just fill everything in an Excel file and you upload them individually. If you have created so many classes, so you make sure you create so many classes. We have class 1 here, class 2, this other class is called Grand Section, and then so all the classes that exist in this system, they will all be listed in here. So what you just do is that you upload each Excel. If a particular Excel file is for class 1, all the students in that class list, they will all go to this class. You come to class 2, you upload its Excel file. You come to class 3, the same thing. Now I have to explain. I will have to explain each of this one. Firstly, we have to download this sample. This is what we have to use. This is what we have to imitate. So this is the sample Excel file we are going to use. Like I always said, the header at the top, these things at the top, you don't touch. You don't rename. Don't rename these please. You don't rename. This name, admission number, don't touch, don't rename. Even the empty spaces, leave them the way they are. Leave these empty spaces, don't touch. So if this is your first, normally you start from number 2. This is what you have to replace from here. Number 1, you don't touch. So this is the first student. If she's called Christine, you put Christine there. If this one is called Mirel, you put Mirel. This one is called John, you put John. Put the full names there. Admission number, you can start from 1. You can, even if you want, it can be 2, it can be 3. Okay, now admission dates. This one, if you are in a haste, you are in a hurry, don't bother about this. Even if you have 5,000 students, you can put the same thing all through. You just fill it there. Let's assume we have many students here. They are all filled right this way. You just make sure you jack it the same thing. You fill everything the same like this. Admission number, there will be 4. It will be 4. It will be 5. It will be 6. So you just continue till the list of students end here. The date of birth, if you don't know and you don't want it for now, don't bother. Just copy the same thing, you jack and you fill everything right down. Okay, the same thing as well. The gender, I'm sure this one you will know. So you just put in, if she's a girl, you put female. If it's a masculine, you put male, just like that, male girl. So let me just assume they are all male. Let's just assume they are all of the masculine gender. I will just fill everything with male. The same, if there's any phone number, I will fill. If there is no phone number, just leave it for now, leave it empty. There is no email, leave it empty. The whole number, this one, if you don't want any whole number, there is no problem. If you want the system to automatically give them a matricule, that is fine. That is much easier. But if you have your own whole number that you want to assign to student, you can start here. You can change to 2025 or any year you want. You can put a format A001. Here you can put 2025 A002. That is a matricule format. So now you can just copy, you give them the same format, but make sure each person has a unique matricule. You drop, you fill, so that they have a unique matricule. Once this is done, you just save. You save. Make sure you save it. Once you save and all the students' name are filled here. So if the Excel file that will just fill, if it belongs to class 1, you come here, you select the academic year that are going to, you must put the running year. You select the section that those students should go to. We can have class 1 in many sections, so it depends on you. You can first of all select this and you send them to a class 1 that belongs to this and a class 1 that belongs to this. So it depends on you normally. So if they are going to this one and the matricule type, though we have filled in the matricule, if we don't want the system to use our matricule, if we want the system to automatically give the matricule, we'll take automatic. It means it's going to ignore the matricule that we have assigned in our Excel file. But if we want it to make use of the matricule that we have defined in our Excel file, we make sure we take manual. We select the Excel file and we take uploads. All the students in that Excel file will be admitted to this class. The next thing, you go to class 2. You modify or you duplicate that Excel file. Put in the list of the students of class 2 there. Repeat the same process. If it is manual, you take manual. You select the Excel, you take upload. They will all be uploaded and admitted to class 2, just like that for each class. So that is that for the bulk admission of. Here we can come to online admission. This is online admission. Students normally will apply online. We don't have the students admission form here, but on the when students apply online, if this thing is integrated on a website, once students apply online, you are going to see a list of applications here which you can approve, you can reject. Once you click on approve, it will tell you to just fill in some few information, assign the students to that specific class, and you take submit. That is where you check where students application online are submitted. Here too, you can check the students activity. If there are comments under any students, comments about a student, any activity, anything that a student is required to do, you will all see them listed there. So that is that about the students module.